Erzgard here, and it's time to talk about Fairy Tail. And episodes like this hit hard, and this is why I love the series. And Natsu, especially what we got in this episode, felt like an emotional track, hitting and bringing back so many memories and emotions for all of the characters that we saw here in this episode, and just showing Natsu for being who he is. And he actually died this episode, technically, at least. And even the other fights were really interesting, and the last scene in the episode just get me so hyped for Fairy Tail. And I love the series, what can I say? But anyway, enough rambling, let's get into the episode and see what happened here. Now, the first fight we see a bit of is Wendy versus Nebaru the spider dude. she, she gets made into a cocoon, and I'm like, okay, I really hope she's gonna bust out. But in typical Wendy fashion, she does bust out, but kind of looks like a spider egg right now. Only her hands, legs, and a bit of her head are out. I can't wait for her to beat Nebaru there. But that's probably gonna be in future episodes. Then we have the setup on the other side, Kiria versus Laxas, with Jellal and Erza doing Jellal and Erza things. We're gonna go through that. Erza tried thinking, hey, maybe while they're distracted, I'm gonna go for the orb, but I love my man Jellal. He knows what he wants, and he goes for it, like, having that one-track mind, not even white out magic could defeat him, and we're gonna get to that. But on the other side, we also have Lucy versus Mira and Elfman. She actually summons Taurus and Gemini to copy Lysana, because Mira, we know she can't attack Lysana with everything that happened between them in the original series and their past. How they lost Lysana, they thought she was dead, and that destroyed them, Elfman and Mira. But thankfully she was back with the Edolas arc, but that still sticks with you, no matter if they're back. That's something like that you're never gonna get past. You're just gonna learn to live with. But also the fight gets interrupted by Mad Mole and Scallion here, and Mira is struggling a bit against them, even though she got mad that they hit Lysana. But I do have a feeling that Mira is gonna blast them away. I can't wait to see their reaction there. And Lysana tried to do something interesting. Like, they have two options when you're in whiteout mode, like brainwashed. When you meet new ones that you are your enemies, so to say, opposing you, they can either execute them or they can convert them, and she tried to do that to Lucy. They're grabbing her, she transforms into that snake form here. I hope there's gonna be a proper good way to get them out. I know, like, Wendy said she can do it with her magic here, but I feel like there's way too many of them spread out, and I still have so many questions about the white mage and so on, but that's in the future. Right now, with the fights here, we have back with Erza. She tried to go for the orb, but gets stopped by Jellal. He starts running with her, binds her body with a spell, and she just gives up. There's no stopping. Like, I have to go. Grabs her, and she's like, hey, don't you also have to get the orb? Trying to get him on track to go after the orb. Yeah, that's one of my goals, but I've made my decision. I'm with you, Jellal, I'm with you. Made the right call. Always go for Erza. Fuck the orbs. I was laughing so much at that. But the focus of this episode was Natsu versus Wraith, and that feels like there's a lot more to this Wraith guy, especially his past. Like, they're dropping some nuggets there around with him, and apparently he wants revenge to find the one that killed him. So that's gonna be interesting when we find out who or what happened with him. And the reason why he's with Diabolos is because only Dragon Slayers are able to see him. So he probably, hey, found somebody that is able to see him being in his ghost form. And of course you're gonna stick with the people that are able to interact, see you, talk to, instead of being alone, nobody being able to have any connection with you there. And this is where we see that he actually is very powerful, not just in magic, but how his magic actually works. He's able to knock out Natsu very easily with Dragon Spirit attack and grabs his soul. But what hurt the most, probably this episode, was Happy. Like, we're all very used to Happy being the comedic relief, the joke guy, the funny guy, but gotta remember how much Natsu and Happy care for each other and everything they've been through, and seeing Happy go through that, seeing Natsu there down on his ground and Happy not even being able to see Wraith, not even knowing what was happening there, panicking so much. But then we have, on the other side, we see Natsu's perspective. He technically dies and goes to heaven in the clouds here. And I'm really liking this concept with how they handle this situation here, because it just shows who Natsu is at his core and how much of a good person he is here. And we see Zeref is there. I'm like, okay, damn, we got Zeref. Actually, I'm thinking, is this like purgatory in a way? Mavis is there, their kids August and Larcade living happily like a family, and even having a bit of an epilogue, a conversation there with Zeref, him admitting he feels sorry for everything that happened, even if Natsu forgave him, the others probably didn't, and even he didn't forgive himself. I do hope we get to see more Zeref and Mavis at some point here, but this is revealed like it's some form of personal heaven in a way, or unconscious heaven for Natsu, or how he sees in himself what would heaven would look like subconscious, what we wish internally to be the best, the afterlife here, and him saying, wait, but my heaven should be more filled with flames and dragons. But that's more like hell. And what hit quite hard also, I was so glad to see Ignel was there. He says Atlas Flame, Zikonis are there. Pretty much everybody that was lost are there in Natsu's own internal mind heaven in a way. I don't really know how to put it exactly into words, and just felt so great seeing that there, and all of them living happily. And this shows what Natsu wants, and this is why I love Fairy Tail. He just wants people to live happily together, be with everybody and enjoy life, even for the ones that died, and even for the ones that were his enemies at some point. And this is who Natsu is at his core, and this was probably one of my favorite moments on from the new series here, and seeing all of the other characters, and he kind of gets an idea and is being taught a bit, hey, you're a ghost now, so use that to your advantage. So he kind of learned astral projection in a way. After he leaves, that he won't remember those conversations and moments. He goes out and his soul is able to bite into Wraith. Kind of reminded me a bit of Dimple from Mob Psycho, and after that he transforms into his full body but still ghost form, and he's able to give Wraith a much needed beat down there. But here is where we see the interesting dynamic and how things should be, because sometimes this thing is used as a cliche here. We even saw it in this episode where Gemini transformed into Lysana and Mira wasn't able to hit back Lysana, even though she knew it was fake. She just couldn't do it. But Natsu is Natsu. When Wraith saw that he was able to be wounded, he took over Happy's body there. Like, nah, you're not gonna be able to hit your friend. I'm like, in the back of my mind, you don't know Natsu. He instantly punches Happy. Like, yeah, that hurt Natsu also. It hurt Happy also, even though he had no idea what was happening. But Natsu put it perfectly. We're friends. We fight. We argue. But in the end, some weirdo took over his body. Of course, I'm gonna punch him out. And Wraith, hey, beating your pet. No, Happy is not his pet. It's his friend. Happy is his friend. Best friend they have. They've been together through everything that happened here. And Wraith, I don't think he has any idea who's facing. He slowly started realizing how strong Natsu is, and he starts running off to look for a body stronger to sync with. And here is where we get a bit more information with him. Like, saying he needs strong body, magic also of course, somebody that has been close to death at some point. So there are some requirements for this synchronicity to happen for him to be able to stand a chance against Natsu. But those two are, sure, they make sense, strong and somebody close to death considering his power. But also somebody that was a relative to him, and he says, I'm just gonna ignore that rule. So that felt a bit like foreshadowing, thinking of something. So who can actually be related to Wraith here? And the one that he takes over is Makarov. I'm like, okay, Makarov 100% makes sense for the first two. Like, he's very strong, one of the strongest character in the series. He has been close to death, what happened in the Spriggan 12 arc previously with the Empire there. But I don't know, and I'm leaning more towards I don't think he's related to Wraith. I could be completely off here. I don't know if he is. It could be, it could be. Don't spoil, don't give me spoilers. But then we have Makarov getting back on his feet thanks to Wraith here actually being able to walk, because he's still in the wheelchair. He wasn't able to use his legs anymore. So is Makarov actually related in a way with Wraith? Could it be their son? What happened? I don't, but I'm really liking this. I'm really liking focusing a bit more on Makarov, seeing all of the others. I can't wait to see what Natsu is gonna do, having to come face to face with Makarov here. It's not gonna be as easy as just punching Happy there. So yeah, this has been a really fun episode, especially focusing on Natsu and all of the characters that we have lost along the way. And also at the end we see the last scenes. Lucy about to be taken over by white magic thanks to Lysana. She gets the idea to use Capricorn with his sunglasses, because the whiteout seems to be an eye magic here, and I'm really liking how she looks in that transformation from Capricorn. And seeing Capricorn also, a lot of memories is brought back. He was one of the best arcs there, his history, his background, how he was being taken over by one of the evil guilds in the past. Here, his connection to Lucy, her mother, everything Capricorn. This is what I'm saying, just please watch the original series. And yeah, Lucy looks great in Capricorn form. But one of the most hype scenes we had at the end of the episode, remember how it started? We had Kiria versus Laxas. She lost badly. It's like, how is he so strong? How can I call him? Laxas just there. Wanna go again? You don't mess with Laxas. So yeah, one of the best episodes we have gotten here from the new series. Just hit the emotion, the hype, the plot, the questions, everything. I'm having a lot of fun with this one. But yeah, I'm really curious what you guys thought about this episode. As always, remember to like and subscribe. It helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Fairy Tail. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.